This is the Midwestern Whisper. This is Whisper 43. And it is hot. It's got to be near a record high. Parts of my state reached over 90 today. And so just trying to stay cool. I've used the air conditioner for a couple hours, but trying not to use it too much because it costs a fortune to run it. And trying to save money where I can, so I'm going to continue on from something I've done in a few videos, and this is go through a list of alphabetical bands and pick one song that I like from them, and these are mellow bands, but they're in all genres. This is rock, sometimes heavy metal, country, and even occasionally rap, but I don't think there's any rap in this list, but I'm just gonna do it just for something different to do. And I kind of like to do it just to see some people comment on it, but this is music I picked that I like. There's only 23 this time, so the first one is Jason Aldean, Why? Number 2 is Jefferson Airplane, Somebody to Love. Number 3 is Jewel, You Were Meant for Me. Number 4 is Jim Croce, Photographs and Memories. Number 5 is Jimi Hendrix, The Wind Cries Mary. Number 6 is Jody Messina, Heads Carolina, Dales California. Number 7 is Joe Cocker, The Letter. And I've heard other versions of that song, and he does the best. Number 8 is Joe Nichols, If Nobody Believed in You. And he has other good songs too, but that's the best. And the video is pretty good too. Number 9 is John Anderson, Seminole Wind. And that's an older one, but this is by far his best song. Number 10, John Cougar Mellencamp, Ain't Even Done with the Night. Number 11, John Michael Montgomery, I Love the Way You Loved Me. 12 is Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. 13, John Sakata, I'm Free. Number 14, Josh Turner, I Wouldn't Be a Man. 15, Journey, Faithfully. 16, Kansas, Point of No Return. 17, You'll Think of Me by Keith Urban. 18, Who Would You Be Today by Kenny Chesney. And that makes me think of my brother. I lost a stepbrother back in '96, and I've been talking to his son, which is about the same age we were when we ran around together. And this, that's a story for another time, but that song makes me think of him. 19 is Kenny Loggins, Nobody's Fool. 20, Kenny Rogers, I Cannot Love You. 21, Blue Jeans and a Rosary by Kid Rock. 22, Kiss, Hard Luck Woman. And the last 23, Cool in the Gang, Cherish. And that's it. I'll keep working at it a little bit at a time. I don't want to bore you with too many. I am sorry about the microphone fading in and out. Hopefully it's not doing it this time, because I listened to the other one on YouTube, and it just sounds horrible. And this is a brand new microphone. I'm very displeased. If it continues like that, I won't be using it, because if I don't think it's good enough, it's probably not good enough for you either. So I'll go back to the little piece of crap that I was using before I'll have it fade in and out like that. I was just sitting here thinking, I really don't have a lot else to talk about, so I think I am going to discuss my stepbrother and his son a little bit. My mom and dad got a divorce when I was 5, and when I I was 6 or 7, my dad remarried, and she had 2 kids, a girl and a boy, and they were very young. And my mom and stepdad are still together 30 years later, but they wanted us to be a family early on, and I wasn't too sure about it. My dad had another family, but they grew on me over the years until my brother and I became preteens and young teenagers, and we started to get into some petty trouble. And then they tried to keep us apart. They blamed me because I was a little bit older. And we still hung out. But a few years later, I settled down and got married for the first time. And my brother continued to run around and got into drugs and more serious trouble than I did. And we saw each other less and less. And in the last year of his life, I hardly saw him at all. But by this point, my first daughter was born, and I had been a family man for a few years. This little boy was only 4 months old when he died. And at first my family before my brother died, they were saying that the child wasn't his. She cheating on him or whatever. They would break up and get back together so many times. So I don't know if you'd really consider it cheating, but they didn't believe it until my brother died, and then suddenly it seemed like they needed something to grasp onto of my brother's. And as the kid grew, it was very obvious that it was his son. He started looking like him. When he was about 3 years old, I saw him, and the little boy smiled, and his eyes and his teeth and his smile, there was no doubt that it was my brother's son. Well, I kind of lost contact with the mother of my brother's son, and until about a year ago, we became Facebook friends, and I started looking through her pictures a couple weeks ago, maybe now, and I came across a picture of him, and the boy is actually 15 now, and he looks so much like my brother. I mean, I broke down in tears, and he looks so much like him. And the other day I contacted her, and I said that, I'd like to talk to him, and I'd like to share some stories of his dad with him, since he never knew his dad. And she said that was fine, and so I added him, and he accepted me as a friend on Facebook. And the other night, we sat there and talked for about 2 hours on Facebook, and I told him some funny stories about his dad when we were teenagers, and I think he's a little bit more settled down than his dad was, and thank God he doesn't do drugs. But yeah, it was an experience, that's for sure. It made me feel old, but I'm glad I did it, and I plan on doing it again, because nobody talks about my brother too much anymore. And he's been gone over 15 years now. And I want to keep his memory alive. My dad doesn't like to talk about it, but he's somebody that doesn't show his feelings very well, so but I can't pretend like he never existed, because he did, and I loved him, and his son wants to hear about him. So it is what it is. I texted my dad that night and said the boy's name. I said, my brother's alive in him. And my dad didn't respond to it. I don't think he knew how. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call my dad an emotional cripple, but along those lines, that's for sure. I'm glad I'm not like that. But I thought I'd share that story, and this video is to my brother. So, until next time, thanks for listening. Goodbye.